A warm welcome to our next AgriRouter Connect live stream. So we are broadcasting twice a month, and I would love to say hello on the screens to all farmers, dear contractors, agricultural machinery manufacturers, and to all smart farming fans. So we would love to show you the future of digitalization, especially agricultural digitalization. Our specific topic of today is data management when harvesting corn. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you our guests of today. First of all, I want to say hello to Stefan Niehoff from the machine manufacturer KRONE. In the company, you're responsible for marketing of digital products. Third, I would love to say hello to Johannes Sonnen from the DKE Data. Shortly, you will tell us more about the AgriRouter, a manufacturer neutral data exchange platform. And last but not least, I want to say welcome to Thomas Beron working at FarmFacts. Once again, thanks for being here. And dear audience, what could we expect from today's show? First of all, for the next 45 minutes, we would love to entertain you. We would love to show you how to connect a machine to the AgriRouter. One machine is standing outside of our studio, and we will give you a lot of good tips to make your everyday life easier. Further, I would love to invite you to join our newsletter. Just register yourself to our smart farming newsletter. Just scan the QR code with your mobile phone. You will see the QR code later again. Our newsletter is published once a month, and don't miss interesting stuff about the AgriRouter and all about smart farming. So now we would like to start, and we are coming to you, Johannes. Your company was founded in July 2016. You are located in Osnabrück. First of all, just introduce yourself and tell us what's behind the DKE Data.
Yeah, DKE Data is a neutral company that is responsible for the data exchange element AgriRouter. This is our central element, and behind DKE there are about 27 brands from 27 agriculture machinery brands. We see them here on the screen, and these machinery manufacturers have decided to do something together, because they say our machines needs to be connected to different software products the farmer has in use, and it is a lot of effort to develop individual connection between the machines and the software products, and therefore they say it would be nice to have something in the middle where we have only one connection from the machinery side to the AgriRouter, and the software side only has one connection, and therefore it's possible with that data exchange element AgriRouter in the middle to link this both together. And all these machinery manufacturers decided to be open in that way that each machine manufacturer can join this initiative. So the lawyers say on a non-discriminatory basis, everybody can become also a shareholder of DKE. And then this list of manufacturers will grow. And I can tell you this day, the list will grow this year, but it's a little bit, I cannot say which machine manufacturer will join, but be surprised at the end of this year.
Okay, we do so. But basically, what's your goal?
Yeah, the goal of this element data AgriRouter is to be the possibility to exchange data along the whole value chain. We see here a picture from our perspective the value chain is about. So we have the seeds, so the inputs, we have the seed fertilizer, and we have at the right hand side the food processing companies. And you see that small railway here. So this railway is for data exchange, this highway, and this should symbolize the AgriRouter. And the farmer, he is a businessman, he is a producer of something, of crops and something, maybe direct to the food processing or a step before, then he needs the exchange of data along his whole value chain. We started now in arable farming from the machinery side, but the AgriRouter is built to be able to exchange data along the whole value chain. And what is our goal? To bring most partners inside our AgriRouter world. So FarmFacts is one of our partners, and all these partners can offer solutions to the market, a software or hardware, we will see later, that brings the farmer the possibility to connect to his agrirouter account.
I understand. And in this context, how the agrirouter is working?
Yeah, the agrirouter is the central element, and the central element has only one API, this one connection, one interface. And this interface can be integrated in the machinery side, as we see that here with our machine instead of running of the studio. Also, the software providers can integrate this agrirouter interface. And this is the big advantage, that we have one central element, and from the farmer's perspective, it's his own agrirouter. He created it, it's his individual, and then he connects his machines and he connects his software products. And we see here on the screen, so he can link all of the participants along his value chain with the central element agrirouter.
May some farmers on the screens are asking themselves if you could use the agrirouter internationally. What could you answer?
Yeah, so the machinery manufacturers that are behind agrirouter have an export rate higher than often 80%. So a lot of machines are going in the world and used by different farmers worldwide, and therefore agrirouter is a worldwide approach, so it's international usable. So in each country we don't have geo-blogging agrirouter can be used. So we have actually the language German, English, French and Russian, as the market asked for these languages. And I can tell you the next language will be Italian, as the Italian government actually is giving subsidies for the farmers when they introduce smart farming equipment on their farm, and therefore we have an additional need and we add additional languages. But the agrirouter is usable worldwide. That is no problem. You can use it at every computer the farmer has.
Thanks for answering. So how can can farmers connect the agrirouter to a machine, maybe without having telemetry data before, or using different manufacturers?
Yeah, most of the machines the farmer has in use today on his farm don't have a telemetry connection, a telemetry unit on it. Newer machines they buy from the manufacturers sometimes have that, so they can order that directly from the manufacturer. But we say it should also be possible that the farmer can connect his machines with so-called retrofit telemetric connections. So these retrofit telemetric connections are listed on our website, and he can choose one. And I have one example with me here, and this is this hardware here. This is a small piece of hardware that I can connect to the isobus in-cab connector to the tractor. The most tractors have that, or machines have that, as the cars have that ODB interface. Here in the agriculture, it's the isobus in-cab connector. And this hardware is connected to the isobus, and then you connect with this hardware your machine to the agrirouter. When you have also all the machines that don't have isobus, this hardware is also possible because it has also a USB connection. Then you can connect your terminal via USB to your hardware. So it's very flexible. You can use it from one machine to another one. But we don't sell this hardware. We only have a marketplace where you can see all this hardware the farmer can use. So it's possible to connect a Deere tractor with such an hardware to your agrirouter account, or maybe a Class tractor, because both companies are actually not in our initiative, but this is very easily possible.
Where can farmers see which retrofit telemetry units are existing, and on the other hand, which software products you can use?
Yeah, I just mentioned the marketplace, and we see here on our screen where I have our website open. So this is our central website. It's called my-agrirouter.com. So it's also available in different languages, and based on your language of your browser, the website is open in the correct language. And here we have the marketplace, and inside the marketplace we have the unit agriculture software and telemetric connection. So let's take a look in the telemetric connections. That's the first one. I click on it and the website opened it, and then we can look all of the existing available telemetric connections that the farmer can use. So for example, we have seen that connection, this hardware I have here on my desk, and we also see this telemetric unit, it's KRONE Smart Connect, in live demonstration, what we see next with Stefan. Yeah, this is the list of existing telemetric units, and the farmer can take a look in it and decide for the right one he wants to use for his machines. And on the other side, we have in the marketplace the software category, and inside the software category we see all the available software products the farmer can use. Some are labeled with coming soon because they are actually on working notes, so in the next weeks, months it's available for the farmer. And we see here in our list also the software product Next Farming. This is what we see here in our show after later, and the farmer can choose that software then he wants to use. So for example, when we click on a software, we see some detailed information, some screenshots and so on, so he get informed. And what is very important, that's the same on the hardware side, when you want to buy this software or use this software or buy this hardware, you go to the website of the provider. So we only have a central overview where the farmer can see which software and which hardware products with the agrirouter are available.
Fine. And you prepared one last slide for our audience. Are we allowed to see it and what you want to explain?
Yeah, on this slide we see here a rectangle or a box with a green box where it's located in your basis for the future. That means that we say when you start your data management ecosystem, so a farmer starts, for example, with one machine and one software product, then he has the agrirouter created an agrirouter account. We see that later, and then we say this is your foundation of your maybe data management ecosystem. So you can build floors on it, and it's extendable. Yeah. So you started with the agrirouter, and you can extend your data management, let me say, house over the time when a new machine comes in, or you want to use an additional software. So therefore, we say this is the basis you can start with, and you are then on the right way when you step in the data management.
Thanks for the moment, Johannes Sonnen from DKE Data. I hope you at home got some really good information. It was informative, gave you an insight to what possibilities are available for digitalization and cooperation with the agrirouter. And at this point, we want to have a look which kind of digital KRONE solutions exist in combination with the agrirouter. And therefore, I would love to talk to Stefan Niehoff, KRONE marketing consultant. So Stefan, KRONE is known for being the full liner in forage harvesting, but on the other hand, you are also one of the founding companies behind the agrirouter. How does it fit together?
Actually, it fits very well.
Okay.
So today we want to talk about the topics of data management and agrirouter based on our BiG X harvester. So back in the day, in May of 2000, when the machine was first introduced into the market, our customers were mainly focused on the hardware features of the machine. So for example, the top speed of 40 kilometers an hour, the wide tires, the engine with 600 horsepower, and of course the massive throughput. So back in the day, this whole digital topic hasn't really arrived in the heads of the customers yet. But maybe most importantly, what the machine has already done back then was forging its reputation for being the listening harvester in the market.
Interesting. What do you mean with this?
So at KRONE, we talk to our customers, and of course, we listen to them when they talk about their worries and their hardships regarding their machinery. And as this whole digitalization topic became more and more important, many manufacturers try to establish their own standards, their own data formats when it came to data management. But due to the lack of compatibility, this wasn't sufficient for the farmers and the contractors. So this is why, because a little more than 10 years ago, we got together with the Association of Contractors and, of course, a group of other manufacturers of agricultural machinery. And together we initiated the project iGreen.
Yeah, and especially if you focus on software, in most of the cases it's a little difficult and there are a lot of constant changes. And in this case, how the agrirouter can help?
Yes, this is why the agrirouter is so important. We, as a manufacturer, we can provide the machinery and the intelligence on the machinery, and therefore we can create these types of data. But when it comes to actually managing your entire business, your entire farm, this is where many customers already have got some software products, like, for example, the Next Farming. And we want to be connected to these software products. And this is why we need the agrirouter, because it enables us to share the data from our machines via the agrirouter to a large amount of software providers.
I understand. How far do customers also have a different view on their data?
Let's start with a look at the contractors first. Those companies, they very often use specific software products which have been developed especially for them. So it's very easy for them to just set up offers or do some billings. And yeah, the most common products in this area right now are Betrico, Agforce, Lucas, and of course, there are many more alternatives. But these companies, these contracting businesses, they are mainly interested in the telemetric and the business data of the machines. So how long has my machine been working for this customer? How many hectares did it do and how many fuel has been used? And thanks to the agrirouter, we are now able to take this data from the machine and in close to real time, send the data via the agrirouter directly into the office, into the software program of the contractors.
Okay, so this has been the view from contractor's side. What about the farmers themselves?
The farmers, they are mostly interested in the yield data from our machinery, because if as a farmer, if you know on this field, I've got a higher yield potential in this area than I've got here. Then in the following years, I can use this knowledge to adapt my sowing, my spraying, my fertilizing, just to make sure that every input I use on this field is used with maximum efficiency. And this is something where, due to the compatibility of the agrirouter, it makes the handling of the data just a lot easier. It allows the farmers to use their data more efficient, and of course also it makes their farm work more ecologically friendly.
Great. It makes sense, I wanted to say. And by the way, for you at home, dear audience, to see what we mean, we've prepared a little film for you. Just have a look.
My name is Marcus Eggenstein. Together with my wife, I run the Plogmarker Contracting Company here in Zelm, which is in the middle of the Munsterland and Ruhrgebiet. We have 9 employees, 2 of whom are apprentices. We're active in the spreading of fertilizer, in the sowing of maize, with a focus on hay and grass harvesting, in grain harvesting, maize harvesting, and we also offer dredging and civil engineering work, wood care work over the winter, and water maintenance work and other municipal work.
Gewässerunterhaltungsarbeiten und sonst weitere kommunale Arbeiten noch. Ja, wir verwenden Schlepper der Marken.
We use MF, Fendt and John Deere tractors, Claas and KRONE harvesters, and we've been using a sensor on the KRONE forage harvester since this year, which determines the ingredients and dry matter content for us.
Ja, der Häcksler sendet uns diese Daten vom
The forage harvester sends us this data from the field via the agrirouter, manufacturer independent, and we process this data with Next Farming portal, and we can make this data available to our customers.
Interesting, isn't it? So now we would love to demonstrate how easy it is to connect a machine with the agrirouter. And soon Stefan will go outside over there. Our Big X is waiting and we will have a short live demonstration. But first of all, we have to create a new account, a new agrirouter account. And therefore I would love to talk to Johannes Sonnen. How does it work and how difficult is it?
No, it's not difficult. It's very easy. I'll go back to my screen here where we have the myagrirouter.com website opened, and we have a small icon here, and with a man in the middle here. And this icon, when I click on it, I have the possibility to register. And to log in. But first we want to create a new account. And therefore I have to click on register. And when I've registered, I have to put in here my first name, last name, email address. But I don't find here any payment information. So that means the agrirouter as a farmer has not to pay to us. After fill in all these fields here, you send and create an account. So this is here after I say I'm not a robot. And I created an account and I get a confirmation mail. And this confirmation mail, I have to confirm, we see that here on the screen, so I have to confirm that I'm me. Yeah, that's typical when we create web accounts. But it's also possible that I can delete the account if, for example, after 2 years I say, no, I skip off, I don't want to use anymore. I can also delete the account, and that should underline that the farmer he is in the control. He is in the control center. He is the man who controls everything.
Yeah, but we have to entering a code, or you have to get a code?
Yes. Now we go to the agrirouter and log in. So I log here in my agrirouter account. And I have to choose my right credentials, so I have some more. I have to choose the right one. So this is typical. I put in my email address and my password, and then I log in my agrirouter account. And after logging in my agrirouter account, the agrirouter is shown as you see it here. So we have a control center. This is the most important element. We have an account pairing element. Therefore, I can connect to my contractor, for example, or to my contractors. And on the other side, we have a part for learning material, and we have remote maintenance. So when something is not working, you can get in touch with an external service guy, and typical on account management when I have to change my email address. But we want to go now to the control center to create a registration code for Stefan that he can connect the BiG X to our agrirouter account. So, but for we create a register code, I want to explain. We have here the CCI terminal. This is the terminal I have here in front of my desk. We have a Grimme matrix, a planter that is under my desk, and we have the software next machine management connector. So nothing more. We only have 3. We call that endpoints. Now we want to connect the BiG X. Then we go to our telemetric connections, and we have to choose that the smart connect box, because this box is built in the machine that is standing outside. So we click on that and we see a registration code. This registration code is valid for 2 hours, and Stefan can now take a picture of that. And then Stefan goes outside to the machine. Yes, and see you. And then he can put in this code to the machine. And then after that, we see that in our live demonstration, the machine is then connected to our account. What is also possible that nobody thinks I have to make a picture. It's also possible to create that code on my smartphone when I'm sitting on the machine. This is also possible. Both things are possible.
Yeah, soon we will see it outside, as you said, but just shortly, could you show us and explain how to connect the machine?
Yeah, we have 2 possibilities. The one is the direct connection. That is what we have seen here. So we create a number inside our account, put that number in the hardware. Here I have on my desk or on the machine. And on the other side, it's possible to connect a machine via a so-called manufacturer platform. So the machine is connected ex-factory to the manufacturer platform. For example, we see that here with my Grimme. So the machine, the sugar beet harvester and the potato harvester are connected to the manufacturer platform, my Grimme. And then the farmer goes to the manufacturer platform. He has an account on that. And then he says, okay, I only want to connect the sugar beet harvester. The other machine, I don't want to connect. This freedom he has. And then he don't have to put in a registration code. He only has to connect his agrirouter account to the manufacturer platform. This is also possible. It's a little bit different way, but both ways are possible. And the manufacturer platforms offer some services anymore. So, for example, you can buy spare parts, or you have some more services. This is very different from manufacturer to manufacturer.
Okay, so we've spoken about the machine side. We also want to see later on how the connection is working to a software with Thomas Beron. But first of all, just in paper, how does it work to connect the software?
Yeah, the software, it's often inside the settings of the software, a small button located where it's called Connect with agrirouter. When I click on that button, then a screen appears and asks me for my credentials, so for my username and for my password, what we have seen just before. And after I type that in, then a screen appears and shows, hey, farmer, this software wants to connect to your agrirouter. Then I'd click on Allow, and that's all. And then my software is connected to my agrirouter account.
If farmers may be unsure how they can inform themselves about the working methods of the agrirouter.
Yeah, therefore we have on our website you find our so-called academy. This academy can be opened via the agrirouter interface, but it also can be opened here under support. We have the academy. Oh, that was the customer. That was the FAQs. So it's also available, and here you have the academy, and you see here we have informations about the basics, about the dashboard, about the account, the control center we have just seen in the easy and expert setup, and so on. And for example, we click on the basics. Then inside the basics, some questions are asked, and the farmer can learn by himself what is an endpoint, what is a message format. So some elements he has to learn, but he can do that by himself. So it's a learning process.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is very easily. Yeah.
And do farmers have to make several settings before, or is it really easy to start?
No, we have only three steps to create an agrirouter or to set up an agrirouter account. First of all, we need to create an account. That is what we have just done. On the second one, we have to connect the machine. That is what Stefan will do. On the other side, we have to connect the software. And then we see here on our screen, we have a standard group for machines and we have a standard group for software. And when you connect a software to your agrirouter or a machine, it goes automatically in the standard groups, and these both standard groups are linked to each other, so it's presetting. That means that the farmer don't have to do anything more, so the data can directly be exchanged.
Okay.
And we can see that here in the agrirouter user interface, we see that here we have two groups, one standard group for software and one group for the machines. And inside our software group, for example, we have the member Next Machine Management, because that software is already onboarded. And on the machine side, we have the members, our planter and our terminal. And when the onboarding of the BiG X, then we have here a member more. And these both groups are linked to each other, and we see that here, that software group can send data to the machine group, and on the other side, the machine group can send to the software group. So they are linked to each other, and it's very easily. Only create an account, connect machine, connect software, and data can flow.
Really good. But I'm asking myself, which telemetry data is the agrirouter able to transfer?
Yeah, the agrirouter, it's not only be to send task data, so-called task data or the application data. It's also available to, it's also possible to send telemetric data, as we see that in the video. In the video, the BiG X sent telemetric data to the office. And all machines together have in total over 600 different telemetric data. But we say no farmer is handling 600 different telemetric elements, and therefore we group them in these 12 groups you see here on the screen, and therefore the farmer is possible to say, yes, the basis data and the yield data should go to the recipient A, and the fuel consumption should go to recipient B, because I'm a contractor and the data from my machine should go to me, but the data of the yield, as Stefan mentioned, should go to the farmer. This is possible. So the data of the yield data goes out of the contractor agrirouter to the agrirouter of the farmer.
Okay, understand. So could you show us maybe some use cases where we can see the agrirouter working on the field?
Yes, we have some use case videos, some interesting use case videos. It's also available via our website. And you see here in the menu agrirouter, we have an agrirouter in action. So this website, it's very interesting. We have some customer videos, so use case videos, real uses of agrirouter in the field. We have something about fertilizer spreading. We have something about potato harvesting. And we have some about corn harvesting. We see something. We have also something about ears treatment. And we preparing actually a lot of more use case videos. So take a look on that website. It comes more and more use case videos on this website. They are also available on YouTube, so both ways are possible. And there you can see agrirouter in action.
Yeah, back to the agrirouter itself. So who helps farmers if something doesn't work?
Yes, first of all, inside the agrirouter we have that remote maintenance. So I can come in contact with my machine manufacturer, or I can contact my software provider, and they can both take a look inside the agrirouter. When that's not sufficient, the farmer can say, I want to connect the support, and we have here the support button, and then we have here contact support, and you can fill in and report your problem. And then we have a support team sitting in Osnabrück that are also bilingual. We have 3 languages over there, and they will answer your question immediately.
Really good. So in the end, we will have a look into the future. What do you think? How will the agrirouter develop in the next years?
Yeah, today agrirouter is available to transport data. Yeah? So we have the machine, we have the software, and we can we'll bring the data from the software over the agrirouter to the machine, or wire from the machine over agrirouter to different software products. But we think from DKE side, as I mentioned, the whole value chain, we need to focus on data logistics, not only on data transportation. Data transportation is one element of data logistics, but the elements data correction, data preparation, and also data conversion are very important elements that needs to fulfill the whole data logistics. So transport is one element, and we are actually focusing on conversion, data preparation, and also data correction, because sometimes the machines has mistakes on it and bring wrong data, and therefore this is our big advantage, that we have a central element where the data flows over. Then we can correct the data during the flow, maybe we can convert the data during the flow, and also we make preparation, because some software providers are not familiar with the standards we are using.
Thanks for the great explanation, Johannes Sonnen from DKE Data. And as I can hear, we are now connected to Stefan outside. He's standing in front of our Big X, and he would like to explain to you how easy it is to connect the agrirouter with a machine.
Yes, I am standing here directly in front of our Big X 630, together with my colleague Tobias Greve. This machine is equipped as standard with our Smart Connect Telemetric unit. We've already accessed the interface of this telemetric unit with our iPad. And as you could see a couple of minutes ago, I took a picture of the registration key for the agrirouter account. We've already entered this key into the interface, and all we have to do now is click on the Save button, and now the Smart Connect box inside this machine knows exactly, okay, I need to connect myself and the machine to the agrirouter account of Johannes inside the studio. So everything that's left to do for us out here is for you to get on top of the machine and take it for a spin.
Okay, that's done.
And we will see each other again in the studio shortly.
Thank you very much, Stefan Niehoff from the machine manufacturer KRONE. And as he said, we will see soon. Oh, the machine, as you can hear, is moving to Spelle, to his home port. There you see the pictures, and you have seen it's also easy in practicing. And I would love to ask Johannes one more question. Are we able to see the Smart Connect box and the Big X in the agrirouter account now?
Yes, yes. So we have here the tractor. This is our terminal here on the tractor. We have the Grimme machine, we have the Next Machine Management, and we have seen here the Smart Connect box. This is what Stefan chooses and type in the registration code. And when we wait some 2-3 minutes more, then we also see the Big X as the machine that is connected to the Smart Connect box. As I mentioned, this one is also a telemetric connection, and my machine is connected to that one. That's the same principle. We have telemetric connections, where telemetric connections are machines are connected. That gives the farmer the freedom, for example, when he has an implement so that is connected to the tractor and he chooses the tractor. So in the morning maybe he chooses tractor A, and in the evening he chooses another tractor. Then he connected the machines to the another one, and the agrirouter recognizes, I'm now connected to a different connection unit, and then it's independent. So the farmer sends the data. When, for example, this is a spreader, he sends the data to the spreader, and it goes to the correct telemetric unit, and the data receives to the spreading machine. Yeah, and now we see here the big X. It's coming now, and then everything is correct inside the agrirouter, and you see I don't have to do anything. Only Stefan put in the registration code, and the rest is done by itself.
Okay, okay. So Stefan is coming back soon in the studio, back again, and our machine is now moving back to Spelle, and therefore we would love to show you how a live tracking is working. And therefore I would love to talk to Thomas Beron, software provider from FarmFacts, but we would love to talk about Next Farming. What's behind?
I'd love to talk about Next Farming. Maybe we can also show my screen at the same time, because we can actually see the machine moving right now, driving away. But for Next Farming, we've been making software and products for farmers for over 35 years. So we started with software that's really at the heart of our business, but over time we added services such as soil sampling or consultancy work or hardware such as nitrogen sensors. Those are the things that the farmers need and that we're happy to provide. And we are very close to our farmers and customers because many of us are farmers ourselves, so we're really close to the matter. And just like DKE Data uses agrirouter as a brand, the company FarmFacts uses Next Farming as a brand. And we and our customers are in the Next Farming world. And one module that we actually see right here is the Next Machine Management that we're really proud of because it's all new and has really interesting features. You can see the live view and the machine driving away here. And that is something that I'm happy to show today.
So if I understood you right, the Next Machine Management is another module for you, right?
It is one of our newest modules, and it's really something that is very important to us. And it stands out because we didn't create it ourselves, but with the help of 6 very competent partners, we were able to create really easy-to-use software that dives really deep into the data. Together with KRONE, Lemken, Lemken, Pöttinger, Rauch, Kuhn, and Echo, we set this up, and these companies are really experts at what they're doing. Not only their machineries and do they know their customers really well, they also know the data really well. And together we combine that detailed information from the machine with the field records and the software Next Farming so that the farmer has really easy to use data and can put that into any area he needs to. May that be field records, may that be prescription maps, you name it.
Sounds good. So hopefully we are now able to see this live tracking in your software. How does it work? What could you show us?
So we see this machine driving away here on the street, and we can see interesting things such as speed or fuel consumption. But many farmers are probably still thinking about planting the corn. We're going to skip ahead and pretend like we're harvesting the corn, and we're going to use data from last year to see what other information we can draw from the machines. So we'll use this task, and what you can see on the map, you can actually see the different amounts of yields in this field. So red color would indicate a higher yield, and a dark green color would indicate a lower yield. And you can use that information in many ways. So you could zoom in and get a better feel for what it looks like. But as a contractor, you might start with, well, this is a new customer. I want to import his fields into my account. And then I use the Create Fields button to do so, to import his field boundaries so I can actually use the information. Also, another of the great features here in the bottom is the Quick Report. I can create a very easy PDF document displaying all the relevant information. Let us open that I could add to a billing or an invoice. You can edit the recipient farm here. And if you scroll down, you see all the important numbers. You might want to add a remark. And for the quick overview, we also added a screenshot right here. So you can actually see what happened and how was the yield. That is a good use case for a contractor, and as a farmer, the thing you want to do is save this straight into your field records. So you have that data there for documentation if you want to fertilize, so you got all your planning straight. We know it's coming from a big X machine, so it's chopping. And the machine is here under machines, you can see, And if you don't have that in your account, it will automatically be created for you. We talked about yield and harvest. So we get the amount of yield right here, 155 tons so far. And from Next Farming, the information is added that this is maize for silage. So we combine that information, and all I got to do here is click Save. Sometimes when there's a little inconsistency in the timing or the data, no problem, we'll fix that for you. And we actually documented this, indicated here by the number, so you can see the amount of tasks that have been created and saved to your field records. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. We try to keep all the buttons down in the footer, and they're really simple and easy to use. And we made this module with the agrirouter in mind. So this is specifically designed to work wirelessly with the agrirouter and to transfer the information to all the different stakeholders involved. So you might have contractors, you might have accountants, you might have an advisor. These are very relevant information for those people, and the agrirouter lets us transfer those to wherever they need to go.
Another important topic as well, how is an application map getting to the machine?
Like I mentioned earlier, you can add and build on top of your software as much as you like. And we also have a feature for creating prescription maps. I've made a little map right here, but if you want to start from scratch, we got all kinds of background information for you, so you can create the perfect kind of prescription map no matter where you are in the world. We're going to do some variable rate seeding here for corn, vary the amount of plants or seeds that we're planting. And we're going to send this map right here over to the terminal that is standing on Johannes' desk. Just hit the button Send via agrirouter. It's going to create a little preview. We're going to select the terminal here, call Tractor A, and just hit the Send button. That's it.
Okay, so I would love to involve Johannes at this point. How does it work at the terminal?
Yeah, so first of all, we go to the agrirouter and take a look inside the details of the terminal. And then we can see that this terminal gets data and it picks it out. So the software sends the data to the agrirouter, and the agrirouter brings it to the endpoint of the terminal. And this terminal, as I know, looks inside the agrirouter every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds saying, hey agrirouter, there are new data from me. And maybe some of you have heard that peep tone of this terminal. So the terminal receives this data, and how to handle it on the terminal I can show you. First of all, we see here the system page of the agrirouter interface. We see the agrirouter connection is done. For your information, here is the possibility to put in your registration code. That is what Stefan showed with the other device, but we see that now here. Now we get the information, a new task is ready for import. We say, okay, thanks for this information, and then we import this data. We go here to the import button and take the newest one, yeah, because this is what we received. Yeah, and then we import that data with the big button here. And then the data is imported to the task controller of this terminal. Yeah? So the data is inside inside the terminal. agrirouter has done his job. And after importing that, then I can start this task. So we take that one here and make a start. And after starting this task, we can say, okay, this is now running. And we can take a look inside the map. And inside the map, when I zoom a little bit, we see the same application map for my seeder. I have here now a sugar beet harvester connected, but it's also possible with a normal corn seeder. So we see here the variation of the seeding rate. It's in pills per hectare. So, and this is what Thomas just created.
Great, thank you very much. Very interesting, our live demonstration of today. Thank you very much, Johannes Sonnen, Thomas Beorn, and of course also to Stefan Niehoff from KRONE. Thanks for being our guests today, and we are almost at the end of our show, of our program. So I would like to say I'm very excited what the future will bring us. Dear smart farming fans, please register on our newsletter, scan the QR code with your mobile phone and sign in easily. Our AgriRouter Connect live stream will be broadcasted every month, and remember, all episodes are available on our AgriRouter website and on our YouTube channel as well. Also, the German videos can be watched with the English subtitles. Please find the corresponding address below. Thanks for your interest. We hope you've got useful information. Join us next time and have a good season, and see you soon. Goodbye.